Now, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is forecasting a gross domestic product growth rate of 0.9% for this year. This is a disclosure from its latest World Economic Outlook report. Charles Nixon has been looking through the report and has come through with a story.
Forecast is slightly below the ones being projected by the World Bank, Fitch Solutions, and the Bank of Ghana, whilst the World Bank is predicting a GDP growth rate that will make the country a top performer in sub-Saharan Africa. Fitch Solutions is predicting a GDP growth rate of 1.3%, also making Ghana an outperformer in the sub-Saharan African region. However, the fund is forecasting a GDP of 4.2% for next year, and that will come as a good omen for government, enterprises, and consumers, as tax revenue, earnings of companies, and disposable income are expected to shoot up. The reason is due to an expected significant jump in economic activities that will stimulate demand and supply. With the exception of Ivory Coast, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania, the country will outperform 46 sub-Saharan African countries. Growth on the continent will, however, contract by 3%, with both South Africa and Nigeria recording huge negative growth rates.
And we're joined by Assistant Editor Charles Nixon for more on this particular story. Charles, welcome to the program. I mean, this is good news. A growth rate of 0.9%. Was it expected?
Absolutely, because if you look at forecasts by other institutions, the World Bank, Fitch Solutions, World Bank, Bank of Ghana, even though Bank of Ghana is projecting a further growth in the region of about 2%, Fitch Solutions 1.3%, sure. World Bank 1.1%. So clearly it tells you that gradually the economy is being diversified. We have diversified exports, particularly a non-traditional export. Even though oil prices dropped to some extent, as at today it was hovering around $40 to $41. Exactly. Cocoa and gold have seen some significant price pickup on the world market. So the country is earning more in terms of these exports.
Well, when they talked about the overall, growth outlook, were there specifics in terms of the growth areas?
Well, specifically, they were particular about the agriculture sector. We all know government policy, planting for food and jobs, has significantly played a role in terms of keeping agricultural growth high. Agriculture, we all know, was the only sector that recorded a growth rate in the second quarter of this year that was 2.5%. Services and industry dropped, they contracted actually, but it wasn't as wider as we were expecting. If you look at the ICT sector, which telecom is really doing extremely well in Africa, Ghana is actually third in sub-Saharan Africa in terms of growth in the telecommunication industry. Sure. In the second quarter, we expanded significantly. So despite the impact of COVID, it had not been that significant on, in terms of the negative aspect of the impact, it has not been significant as we were anticipating. So more importantly, if we are going to see some level of growth, then obviously the country will be making some earnings from both tax, direct and non-direct taxes. We will also see some level of profitability from some companies. Great. And we'll also see our disposable income being at a certain level that will be okay. If you experience a contraction in an economy, you will see that some numbers will start dropping, and that will not augur well for all of us. So clearly, we would be a top performer in sub-Saharan Africa. We are among few African countries that will record growth rate. If you look at Nigerians' numbers, Nigeria would contract heavily by about 6%. South Africa, which has experienced some turbulence in its economy, will also contract by about 8%. So we are hoping to see a better outlook going forward into 2021 and 2022. And from the projections, we are likely to record over 4% growth in 2021 and 2022. And that will be good because then again, companies will know that this is what the numbers are telling us. So this is how we are going to plan in terms of our budget. Are we going to hire new employees? Are we going to expand our operations? So, I mean, these numbers help in terms of forecasting into the future. So it's somehow good news for the country, but we want to see more in terms of the manufacturing sector. I want to see a sector that will lead the growth, even though services has been dominant for some time now. But the manufacturing sector, as the economists will say, brings in a lot of jobs as far as we are concerned. Because if you grow, manufacture, eat, and wear what you produce, I mean, it's better than in doing a lot of importation. So that's what we are hoping the policymakers will be looking at going forward into the future.
Charles, we're so grateful for that explanation. He broke everything down for us in terms of the growth outlook for Ghana, which is looking quite better as compared to other African economies.